Hello and welcome to another Solana tutorial. Today we're going to talk about tokens again and the most requested topic. How do I get the name and the logo for my token to show up? People usually manage to create the token with the help of my previous videos, but a lot of them have problems naming them, so that's what we're gonna have a look at today. Yes, so you might remember we ended up last time with creating our token, and I was too lazy to get the balance on mainnet, so let's do that again. SBL token create token, and this time I'm gonna provide decimals, 0, and my token address because I want to have Andy token why this shit as address. Okay, so boom, we just do that. We're creating the token and now we also have that token on mainnet. Cool stuff. Now that's the easy part. The tough part is how do we get name and token done? Now, as already mentioned in the video where I talk about creating tokens, you need to go to the token list of the Solana Labs. Just Google Solana Labs and token list. You'll get there to the GitHub, and then here you can fork this repository. You need a GitHub account for that, by the way. So if you don't have one, then you need to create one. I'm gonna skip this step. All right, just had to quickly delete it such that we can fork it again, just to demonstrate. If we fork here, then it will create in our account this token list project. Now, if you've already done that before and you want to reuse it, you just fetch from upstream and then it takes the changes from Solana Labs in case somebody else has contributed a token in the meantime. But good, that is where we want to now apply the changes to. Okay, so in order to change something, I usually recommend for beginners to do it via the GitHub desktop simply because it's the easiest way. You can do it just all online, but this editor is not great and it usually deletes the last line break. So better use the GitHub desktop. I've already got that installed, so I can just open it and it will tell me to clone this repository, and then I just say clone. You can also do that by logging into your GitHub account. You authorize it and then you could go via via clone repository, and then from GitHub directly you could select the token list here. In any case, both ways work. We now have the token list here as a project, and the simplest thing we can do is just show it in Explorer. Then it will open it in an Explorer file, and we can now see here those are the files, and the one we want to change is in source tokens. What? Apparently people are messing with this quite a lot, but here it is. This is the thing we want to change, and we change it with an editor. Now, first, a disclaimer. I'm not affiliated with any of the tokens that I added to this file with my account because I just help other people to do that. The only thing that I am responsible for is the loop token, this one. Now, you can add your token at any point here somewhere. I'm gonna add mine right next to my loop token or right before my loop token. So what do we need to do? Well, simple things. We just copy the token address. We give it a symbol, I don't know, Andy, and then a name, Andy token. Or Andy coin? No, whatever. It has 0 decimals. And the logo URL, now this is interesting because they changed it since I did that, and they now host all the content on the GitHub as well. So you also want to upload your logo image to their GitHub, and then you access it with a raw GitHub user content site. Now we can see here it's the Solana Labs token list on the main branch and the folder assets, mainnet, and then under your token mint address, you can put your stuff. At least that's how they suggest you do it. So let's also put our token address here. Logo PNG is the name that we're going to choose. And we're gonna remove the tags because we don't need that. You can always add something later, but you cannot change something later because changing something is a deletion, and that will be a problem. We'll get to why in just a second. Now, let's continue by saving this. And we already said we need to make a repository with that name under token list, assets, mainnet, and then here we create a folder. And inside this folder, we want to save our logo. Now, I'm not a designer or something, so what you'll get is my face. I'll just select my face here. Now, make sure that it's a square image because then it's properly displayed. The tokens are always displayed in squares. So let me copy that, create a new thing here, and then we export this into this very folder under logo.png, and we export. Okay, and then we should have our logo here. Looks good to me. And now if we look back into our GitHub desktop, we can now see the changes that we made. We've added the logo and we've changed this file. Now make sure that you look into here and confirm that you've only green stuff, only added new lines, because as soon as you change stuff or delete lines, when you change stuff you delete the line and create it in a different way, so it's a deletion. Make sure that you only have adding lines and no deletions. So for instance, if I were to open the file in this one, my favorite editor, and my editor supposedly automatically formats the file when it saves it. So let's pretend I were to do this. Then in here I would see not only the things that I add, but I've changed a lot of things because the format, there's not a proper linter in here, so there are lots of little changes that would be made. And maybe it's not even that many. Maybe it's just one. Maybe it's just the very last line where you have another line break or some stuff. That's not good. That's not good. You need to, no, we don't want to have those changes. We want to save this again, where we only really changed this little bit. It must be all green. That's important. Because if we do that, then we can continue by creating a commit, add Andy token. And we commit that. and then we push that onto the GitHub, and then we see inside the GitHub that here we will have a new, if we refresh maybe, we will have, yes, 15 seconds ago, we added the Andy token, and now we can put that into the Solana Labs token list repository by going to pull requests and then creating a new pull request. Oh, you're zoomed in here. You don't even see all of that. Ah, damn. Why do I only see that now? Why am I in the zoomed? Don't ask me why I'm in the zoomed. There you go. That's what you should see. Stupid. Anyhow, there you go to new pull request. And then you can select compare across forks. That's what we want to do. And now here we can select our token list repository, and it already says it's able to merge. And then we just say create pull request. It doesn't matter what we put in here because nobody's gonna read that ever, because it will be able to auto merge without any human ever looking at it. So in order for it to do that, it just needs to pass some tests. One of those tests is that there are no deletions, and that's what most of the people who ask me for help, that's the problem of most of the people, that they just have deletions in there. For one reason or the other, they changed some line somewhere else, and then they cannot auto merge. For us, since it was all green, as you saw, we should be able to automatically merge. Hopefully, it does take a little bit of time, but when the tests all pass, then it will automatically merge it into the repository, and we don't need to do anything anymore. We don't need to wait 2 weeks, and it will all be done immediately. Ooh, wow, we're failing some. Nice. Why? Why are we failing some? Token list is not a valid JSON string. Okay, now good that we go through this, because then I can show you something else. Because it did not go through and some checks failed. So let's go and fix that real quick by going back, checking what the problem could be, seeing that back here we have a comma that we might not really need because there's nothing else afterwards. Save that, and here we see, oh no, we have a deletion now, and that might happen to you. It might happen. So yeah, just say update token list. Now, if I were to push that on top, which I can show you, I'm gonna demonstrate it such that you learn something. Not because we want to be quick. I want you to learn something. Now, it automatically updates the pull request as well. So this will automatically do the tests again, because where it gets the new source from was updated, and GitHub notices that, so it also updates the pull request. You do not need to create another pull request because you have made changes. That might also be a thing that could be helpful to know. Now, we need to wait for the checks to go through, so I'll cut my way to when the tests have finished. Oh, wow! No! We did not have a deletion! Cool, it already automatically merged it! So we're done! I don't even have to squash the commits. Cool! Well, I thought that I might need to squash the commits first, because sometimes when you have a deletion in one, but it was edited in the previous one, you can just go here and squash those two, put them together into one commit, and then force push that onto origin. That would then also fix the problem. But apparently they've changed the checks that now they said it's not a deletion anymore. Works for me, and it is already merged, which means that our changes are in the repository, which means that if we actually go to this URL, we should already see our token image. I'm gonna see my face whenever I see that token. Okay, cool stuff. Now on SolScan, it usually takes about an hour until you actually see the changes. In Phantom, about the same. And on the Explorer, the Solana Explorer, it takes up to a day for the changes to actually show up. So be patient. But if you are patient and you go there to check out your token, for now it's still, an unknown token. Yes, and in Phantom as well, we have the Andy token, but it doesn't show with the right logo yet. So you gotta be a little patient here. Give it a few hours until the changes are actually queried by all of those platforms, and then you should see the changes applied. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so after 17 hours, turns out it doesn't show on the token account page, but if you go here to my account where I have one token, it shows that I have one Andy token, and it also has the image here, but inside the account it doesn't actually show the image on SolScan. However, on Explorer it doesn't show at all yet. That takes some more time, and let's check if Phantom already shows it by sending some to my Phantom wallet, and let's check if our wallet still has it as a simple NDT, but it doesn't show. Now we just need to be more patient and wait a little longer until that actually shows up with the image and the name. But people are getting so impatient with me. When is that video coming out? They've been texting me constantly on Discord today because they have problems, because they have deletions, because they don't know how to make a proper pull request or how to make a proper commit. So I'm just gonna say we'll end it here, and you can check for yourself that it will go through, and you will see, if you go to this address in a day or two, you will see my face here and Andy token. And yeah, until then, you can go and subscribe, leave a like if you enjoy this content. Let me know in the comments if I should make more videos like this. If it is helpful for you, please let me know, because that keeps my motivation up to continue producing those videos. You can of course also share them with the people who think might need it, and post it wherever you want. Tag me on Twitter, I don't know, do whatever you want. Yeah, so hope it was helpful, and I see you in the next Solana tutorial. Until then, peace. Oh, and side note, please don't send stuff to those addresses. Please don't send stuff to my address here. This is just a temporary one. I would probably not keep it. If you want to send money my way, there's a better way to do it. You can send it directly to, which one are we gonna use? To my newest one. Send it directly to solandy.sol. Solandy, because Solandy, I like Solandy. I like Solandy. Let's take it. Let's take it. Oh yeah, let's take it. Okay, we've just claimed it. This is my domain now, so we can now send stuff my way. For instance, I mean, you can send me whatever you want to send me. For instance, you can send me an Andy token, except you can't because you don't have any. But if you wanted to, you could totally do that. Send it to solandy.sol and I will be happy about it. So yeah, I take anything as donations, your NFTs, your tokens, but especially your valuable tokens. I especially like Sol. I do like stablecoins and other tokens with an actual dollar value. But, you know, you're free to send me anything just because you can. There you go. So, with that being said, thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful. You know what to do if it was. So, enjoy the rest of your day and I'll see you when it says Andy token. There you go. There you go. Now it says Andy token. Aha. Okay. It took a while, but here we are. It now says Andy token. It took a while since this was approved. This was merged 18 hours ago. And now finally it's visible in SolScan. It might still take a few hours on the Explorer, and it might also still take a few hours in the Phantom wallet, but you can believe me that it will work. And if you don't believe me, check it out yourself. I'll give you this link into the description. And I'll see you in the next tutorial. Till then.